Hello everyone, welcome to this Yin Yoga class which is dedicated to our hips. We will do some more advanced postures, but don't worry if these postures are too advanced for you at the moment. I will also provide some options. You may also want to use a yoga block and a yoga bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can use, for example, a thicker blanket. Grab everything you need and then find a comfortable position on your back. We will start the Yin Yoga class with relaxing, letting go of all of the stress of the day and creating the space for a nice and calm practice. Find a comfortable position on your back. Your feet are falling apart, your arms are next to your body, and your palms are facing upwards. Make sure that you're really in a comfortable position. If you're not, then take the time to reposition your body a little bit. Then breathe in and out deeply. And with your exhalation, you release all of the tension, all of the stress of the day. With your next exhalation, you allow your body to sink deeper into the ground. With your next exhalation, you allow yourself to relax a little more. With every exhalation, your relaxation gets deeper and deeper. Your muscles get softer and softer. You do not only want to relax physically, but mentally as well. So, whenever a thought comes up that distracts you from your relaxation, you take note of your thought, you look at your thought, and then you consciously decide to let your thought go. You do this with every single thought that comes up. Between your thoughts, you return to your breath and observe how the breath enters your body and how the breath is leaving your body. Slowly, we will start moving our body again. We will do so by turning our head to one side with the exhalation, bringing the head back to center with the inhalation. And with your next exhalation, you turn your head to the other side. With your own pace, you turn your head from one side to the other. Next time you are in the center, you stay there. Now we will stretch our body and we will start with our arms. With your next inhalation, you raise your arms to the ceiling, and with the exhalation, you bring them behind your head to the floor. You stay there and stretch your body from your hips into your fingertips. Everything below your hip stays completely relaxed. Draw your belly button inside so your lower back doesn't lift too much from the ground. After 2 deep breaths, you lift your arms with the inhalation, and with the exhalation you place them again next to your body. You can repeat this stretch for 2 more times in your own pace. Next, we will do the same with our feet. With your next inhalation, you flex your feet so you push your heels away from you and pull the toes towards you. Feel the stretch and the engagement in your legs, while everything above your hips stays completely relaxed. After 2 deep breaths, you relax your legs and feet again. You can repeat this stretch 2 more times in your own pace. Next, we will only stretch one side. We will start with the right side. So with your inhalation, you flex your right foot, bring your right leg under tension, lift your right arm up. With the exhalation, you bring your arm behind your head. And then you stretch your right side from your heel into your fingertip. After 2 deep breaths, you bring your arm with your inhalation back to the center, exhalation down to the ground, and you also release the tension in your right leg. We repeat the same on the left side. With the inhalation, you flex your left foot and bring your left arm up. Exhalation, you bring it behind your head. And then you stretch your whole left side from your heel into your fingertips. After 2 deep breaths, you bring your arm with the inhalation up and with the exhalation down, and relax also your left foot again. Now we will do this with both arms and legs at the same time. With the inhalation, you flex your feet and bring your arms up. With the exhalation, you bring your arms to the ground, and then you stretch yourself as much as you can from your heels into your fingertips. After 2 deep breaths, you bring your arms up and then with the exhalation down to the ground, and you also relax your feet again. Next we will twist our spine a little bit, so you bring your arms on shoulder height. You can keep your palms facing upwards, and then you lift your knees closer to your chest, and then you bring your knees on the right side to the ground. Your head turns in the opposite direction, so on the left side. It doesn't matter if your knees are not touching each other or if your left shoulder is coming up from the ground. If you want to, you can place your right arm on your left knee to intensify the twist a little bit. To intensify the twist, if you want to, you can also stretch your right leg. That gives your left knee a little bit more space to sink down to the ground. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you can keep both of your legs tucked and just stay here and relax. We will stay in this position for a couple of breaths, so allow your body to release and sink more and more into the posture. Your next inhalation, you come back to center. You can stay there with your knees up and shake it out a little bit if you want to. And then whenever you're ready, we will do the same posture on the left side. Bring your arms on shoulder height if you want to, with your palms facing upwards, with your knees tucked above your hip or even closer to your chest. You bring them down to the left side while your head is turning to the right side. If you want to, you can place your left hand on your right knee to intensify the twist in your spine a little bit. Either stay in this position, or if you want to, you extend your left leg so that your right knee has more space to drop down to the ground, which intensifies the twist in your spine once more. No matter which version of the posture you chose, stay in a calm state. Calm down your thoughts, focus on your breath, and relax. next inhalation, you bring your legs back to center. If you want to, you can again shake it out, or you pull your knees closer to your chest. Whatever motion feels comfortable and right for you in this moment. Next, we will stretch the inside of our thighs. To do that, I want you to roll on your belly. Then you grab your own hands and you kind of form a triangle shape. So this is between your elbows and your head. Keeping this shape, you placed it on the ground, but you shifted it a little bit more to the right side so that you're forming a banana with your upper body. You place your head on your arms, or rather on your hands, and then you raise your right knee closer to your right elbow. You do not want your right hip to shift up too much, so imagine you want to bring your belly rather to the ground. If this is enough for you, you stay here, otherwise you extend your right leg. This will intensify the stretch on the inside of your right thigh. The more your leg is stretched and the higher up you put your right leg, the more you will feel the stretch. So choose an intensity that you can maintain and that you can endure for a longer time, because we will stay here again for a couple of breaths. So choose a position that allows you to completely relax. If you want to, you can again focus on your breath. With your next inhale, we will slowly release the pose. So you can, if you had your leg stretched, bring your leg back closer to your center. Then you straighten your leg and find a comfortable position on your belly in the center. Now we will do the whole thing on the left side. Get your arms again in this triangle shape and then shift in more to the left side so that you form this little banana. And then you bring your left knee closer to your left elbow. Let your head rest on your hands and try to keep your left hip relatively low. You can keep your left knee bent, or if you want to, you start extending it. Again, the more you extend it and the higher up you put it, the more you will feel the stretch. You'll stay in this position for a couple of breaths. Allow your body to release and sink deeper and deeper into the posture. your next inhalation, you slowly get out of the posture. And now I would suggest to you to get into a child's pose. Your feet are together and your hip is placed on your heels. You can keep your knees together or you can separate them, and then you just let your upper body sink closer to the ground or rest on your thighs. Your head is resting on the ground. The next position is a little bit more advanced. It requires from you that you can sit on the ground with your heels next to your buttocks. If you cannot do this comfortably, I suggest to you to alternatively do the next posture with the wall. If you're doing the option with the wall, you have to get one knee very close to the wall, and with the other leg you try to get into a lunge position. And then you try to shift your hip closer to the wall. If possible, also your upper body. You want to kind of lean with your whole upper body against the wall. Of course, it's totally fine if you cannot get that close to the wall. If it feels uncomfortable for your knee, then just place a towel or some other cushioning below your knee. For the other option, you can grab a bolster, it might be handy in the beginning, and then you try to sit between your feet. Your buttocks wants to be completely on the ground. If possible, try to keep your knees closed as well. Place the bolster long ways behind your buttocks and then lay down on your back. If you cannot go down all the way, you can stay up higher. You can also grab a second bolster if you have, so that you can still support your back and get in a bit more relaxed position. We will stay in this posture a little bit longer, so make sure that you're choosing a version of this posture that is comfortable for you. And then, just as always, try to relax and release. Often when we are in a position that is not 100% comfortable, we switch to our fight or flight mode, and all of our thoughts and our attention circulates around this uncomfortable position that we are in. And when that happens, try to observe your thoughts. Try to observe how a position you're in is triggering your thoughts. And instead of immediately reacting to the thoughts that are coming up, try to simply observe them. Try to calm down again. Try to maybe focus on your breath. Get back into a relaxed state. Chose the option with the wall, it's now about time to change to the other leg. Of course, you should never feel any pain in these positions. So if you really feel that you have to change the position, feel free to always do so. Similarly, if you feel after some time that you can get deeper into the position, you can also do so. I, for example, chose to remove the bolster, and now I took a position where I'm completely on the ground. I will stay a little longer, so remain in a completely relaxed state. Keep focusing on your breath. With your next inhalation, you can get slowly out of the position. You can choose whatever movement that is comfortable or feels right for you right now. You can either, for example, stretch out your legs, or you bring your knees once more closer to your chest and roll your hips a little bit from the left to the right side. Stay on your back for a little bit, feel the effects of the posture, and relax before we move on to the next one. For the next posture, I would suggest you to get into a downward facing dog. And then you bring your right knee closer to your chest, but turn it outward so that your right knee is getting closer to the edge of your mat. Place your lower leg across the mat. And then you want to sink down with your hip. Make sure that your hip goes down parallel to the ground and that your left hip in that case is not going upwards. If possible, you can then place your upper body on the ground. If you want to, you can support yourself with placing a block below your right bottom cheek. And you can also use a bolster to place your upper body on it. As always, we will stand a little bit longer in this position, so find a comfortable position and relax. you slowly get up with your upper body, and from there you get back up into a downward facing dog. You can walk out your legs a little bit before we repeat the whole posture to the left side. Lift up your left leg and bring the knee to the outside of your mat. Place the lower leg across your mat and then slowly shift downwards with your hips. If possible, you can bring your upper body to the ground and get into a relaxing position here. Or again, if you want to, you can take the support of a block and a bolster. Your next inhalation, you once more get up and shift yourself back into a downward facing dog. We'll next do a progression of the posture we just did. So if this posture was not the most comfortable one, I suggest that you do an alternative. For the alternative, you get on your back and place your right ankle below your left knee on your thigh. Either keep your left foot on the ground or you lift it and bring your left knee closer to your chest. This is very similar to the progression that we will do next, but with this posture you can choose the intensity a little bit easier. If the previous position was easy for you, you can again start from a downward facing dog and bring your right leg up, step forward but onto the left side. From this squat position, you want to drop your right knee to the side so that you're getting into a 90-degree angle between your upper and your lower leg. Be really careful with this position. You should not feel any pain in your right knee. If this position is not comfortable for you, you can bring your lower leg a little bit closer to your hip. The closer you shift with your heel to your hip, the more you will repeat the posture we just did before, which is totally fine as well. Also in this position, if possible, you want to relax, so you want to bring your upper body down to the ground, so your torso is resting on your lower leg. To protect my knee a little bit, I usually flex my foot. That helps me to keep the tension to protect my knee. Whichever option you chose, keep breathing and stay relaxed. No matter which version of the posture you chose, with the inhalation you get out of the posture, and then you give yourself a little bit time before we repeat everything on the left side. If you're doing the option where you're lying on the ground, then you're now bringing your left ankle on your right thigh, just below your right knee. Otherwise, you start from downward facing dog and you take a big step with your left leg to your right hand, and then you drop your left knee to the ground in order to create a 90-degree angle between your upper and your lower leg. Feel free to reduce this angle if the 90-degree angle is too much for you. Try to relax and let your upper body rest on the ground or on your lower leg. We will stay on this side as well for a couple of breaths. So relax and just focus on breathing in and breathing out. Next inhale, you slowly get out of the posture and you get into a downward facing dog, and from there into child's pose. We'll give you time to relax and prepare for the next posture. The next posture is once more quite an advanced hip opener. So if you didn't feel comfortable in the previous progression, then I advise you once more to do an alternative. For the alternative, you come into a seated position and then you place your right ankle once more on your left thigh. You bend your left leg and bring your left knee closer to your chest. It doesn't matter if your knee is still quite far away from your upper body, just make sure that your upper body is straight. If the previous progression of the pigeon pose felt fine for you, then you as well get into a seated position. And now you form a 90-degree angle with your left leg. So between your upper and your lower leg of your left leg, you should try to get a 90-degree angle. And when you did this, you place your right leg in the same way above your left leg. It is totally fine if your right knee is not really lying on your left ankle, but make sure that you're not feeling any pain in your knees. Also make sure that your right foot and your right ankle is lying on your left knee and not on your lower leg. We will stay in this position for a couple of breaths once more. If you realize that this posture is too much for you, then feel free and shift to the alternative that I provided before. No matter which version of this posture you chose, try to focus on your breath and stay in a relaxed state of mind. With your next inhalation, you can slowly get out of this posture. You can again do whatever movement feels right for you in this moment. Relax a little bit before we will move to the other side of this posture. If you're doing the alternative, you're now placing your left ankle on your right thigh, and then you try to bring your right knee closer to your chest. Otherwise, you will now first form a 90-degree angle with your right leg. So a 90-degree angle between your upper and lower leg of your right leg. And then you gently place your left leg the same way above your right leg. Make sure that your left foot and your left ankle is above your right knee and not on the lower leg of your right leg. Adapt the position as much as needed in order to really find into it. And once you got properly into the position, get once more into a relaxed state and focus on your breath. After your next inhalation, you slowly get out of the position. You can shake out your legs if you want to, or do whatever movement feels comfortable for you in this moment. Relax a little bit, feel the effect of the postures, and prepare yourself for the next ones. For the next posture, we start with our legs extended, and then you bring your right leg across your left leg, but you bend your right knee so that your right foot gets close to your left hip. You can either keep your left leg extended, or if it feels fine for you, you can also bring your left leg in so that your left foot is next to your right hip. And from there, you simply want to lean forward, bend forward, and relax. No tension whatsoever in your back. Also, your neck is completely relaxed. You can keep your hands on your knees, or if you want to, you bring them on the ground. If you realize that this is too much for your right knee, then you simply come back up and extend your left leg. You can bend forward with your left leg extended as well. Inhalation, you slowly get up, get out of the position, you stretch your legs again, you can shake it out if you want to, and once more do whatever movement feels right for you in this moment. And now we will do the same posture, starting with our left leg. So you extend both of your legs and then you bring your left leg across your right leg, bend your left leg so that your left foot gets close to your right hip. If possible, you bend your right leg as well so that your right foot gets close to your left hip. Once you've found into this position, you bend forward with your exhalation. Feel your body, feel the stretch, feel your breath, and relax. With your inhale, you lift up your body, get out of the position, stretch out your legs. Do again whatever feels comfortable in this moment. We will do one more posture before we get to our final relaxation. Our next posture will be a straddle. We will be doing a forward fold and a straddle. And if you know that this is something that you cannot do comfortably, then you can also use a wall. If you want to do the straddle forward fold, you first bring your legs into a straddle position. And from there you lean forward. You can either place your elbows or even your hands on the ground and lean forward. You can, of course, if possible, also bring your whole torso on the ground. If you want to, you can also take a bolster and place your upper body on the bolster. I want you to relax in this position, but at the same time try to move your knees upwards. So don't let your feet drop to the inside completely. For the alternative, you move as close to the wall as possible and bring your hip as close as possible to the wall. Then you bring your legs up, and from there you bring them into a straddle position. You can keep your arms next to your body, on shoulder height, or above your head. With our next inhale, we will slowly get out of the position and prepare for our final relaxation for our Shavasana. Find a comfortable position on your back. Your feet are falling apart. Your arms are next to your body and your palms are facing upwards. Once again, make sure that you're really in a comfortable position, and if not, then take the necessary steps to change that. With your exhalation, you allow your body to sink deeper into the ground. With your exhalation, you relax more and more. Calm down your mind, and whenever a thought is coming up that is distracting you from your relaxation, you take note of that thought, and then you consciously decide to release your thought. And between your thoughts, you can again and again return to your breath and observe how the breath enters your body and how the breath leaves your body. Slowly, you start moving your body again. You can do whatever movements that feel right for you in this moment. Whenever you're ready, you roll onto your right side and stay there for a couple more breaths. Thank you very much for following along this Yin Yoga class. If you liked it, then I would be glad if you could give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to follow my channel so that you don't miss out on any other content that I'm going to provide. Until the next time, Servus!